And, it's, it's been help. I didn't know what it was going to be like for other people. I was scared in a way, to kind of release it, because, you're throwing everything out there in the book. Because when you speak, you only have like an hour or 45 minutes to share everything. But the book, I threw everything out there, and it's been really nice to get the feedback on how it's helped other people through their grief, even family members. And, some people I grew up with go, man, we had no idea. Because, when you're a kid, you're too busy being a kid and didn't really start thinking about things till I got older, those developmental skills. Like in college, why was I still alive? Because I thought, my mom was 28. I was 8 weeks old. All I did was eat, sleep, and poop. My mom had a life.
Man, that's amazing. Even at 8 weeks old, you live with survivor guilt.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
That's
and
amazing.
My dad had it, I'm sure, too.
Right.
Yeah. And as a therapist, that will drive you insane sometimes in terms of why was I still alive? And I really believe my mom, did something in that instant to save my life. And, but I always wanted to meet her. I wanted, and that's the hard thing as a comedian. It's, over the 20-something years, I made many people laugh, but the one laugh I never heard is my mom's. And that's tough to go through. Even as I say it now, it still kind of hurts, because like, man, you spend all that time on stage, and that's the one thing that I'm missing. And I think that goes back to that forgiveness part. Man, I'm not ready for that yet, because he took so much, even though I have Dolly, but he still took that part away from me. And you ask anyone who's been through, a drunk driving crash, or a parent or someone who's lost someone, it's tough to go through, because we don't see it as an accident. We see it as a crash. We see it as, they could have done something different, that horrible decision that they made. So part of that recovery process has been, it's full time.
The horrible part is I don't think they got in their car drunk and go, well, who cares if we had a family and all that stuff. They just, back in the day, we didn't have Uber or whatever, or Lyft or whatever. And such people like that are 3 sheets to the wind don't make wise decisions. They're just like, let's just get home or whatever. Yeah. However, this guy takes it a second, like, extra level by lying and not holding himself accountable. And did he even ask your family for forgiveness? Or
I don't know. My grandparents tried to keep my father out of the courtroom. They wouldn't let him see the car afterwards either. But even what you're saying, even before Lyft and Uber, no designated driver. And as I tell people, if you go out with your friends and someone can't stay sober, doesn't want to, then stay home. But there's no reason why someone can't be the DD for that night and be the hero among the friends. I was for my friends, because they knew how to get them home safe and sound.
That's a great message for everyone listening. That all it takes is one accidental running the red light or oops, and you could destroy a family. Yeah. Karen Badia says, what made you get into the comedy business? But I want to get to that in a second. Okay. I love cliffhangers here, because the comedy business and all that stuff is another spin. Okay. And, but it's time for our second break. So we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
We will return to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner after these messages.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you are like most people, you worry with the financial challenges you face today. How do you protect your family from financial ruin? How will you reduce your liabilities and get out of debt sooner? And how can you deal effectively with the constant changes in your job, your career, and your business? Overcoming your financial challenges is like building a house. You must build from the ground up. You must learn how to make more money, save more money, grow your money, and protect your money. Forever Forward Financial specializes in teaching you these 4 basic money skills so you can achieve your dreams and end your worry. Call us today and schedule your complimentary no-obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. Call Scott Bigley at 727-422-7761.
Are you looking for a great book? If you like to root for the underdog, Joe Potosi's book is a book for you. A real American Odyssey that will grab your attention with its fast-moving narrative. You won't be able to put this masterpiece down. When the Dust Settled by Joe Potosi. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Zulin Press.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one. Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner, licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hi, and thanks for listening. This is Moments of Clarity. My name's Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we're doing a live radio show. You're still welcome to call in, 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340, or leave comments down below. We're on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live. Lots of live. And my guest today is an author, comedian, a TEDx speaker, and a survivor in so many ways, and a published author of The Magic of Life, a son's story of hope after tragedy, grief, and a Speedo. Michael, welcome back to Moments of Clarity, Michael Gershe.
Hi, good to be back.
It's too bad you couldn't wear the Speedo. We're on live camera.
No, the country's been through enough. We don't need to see it.
Don't want to add any trauma to it.
We've suffered quite enough, okay? Then the people will be pulling the mask up to their eyes, too, and then...
Oh, stop. It's pretty funny, though. But also, you have the Magic of Life Foundation, too. I want to get to that. So before we went to the break, we were kind of asking, and one of our guests asked why you got into comedy in the first place and how that all began.
I have to thank my grandfather, because as a kid, he took me to Biscayne Magic in South Florida. And I was gravitated towards the magic, but I was always so good at making people laugh. So I kind of combined the two. And I found out that humor was a huge, I didn't know at the time when I was, 7, 8, 9 years old, it was a huge coping mechanism, but it was also like a drug going, man, I can make someone laugh. That's a pretty cool thing. So I always wanted to do it when I was in, high school. I practiced, comedy in my speech class, and I gravitated doing less magic, and my magic back then was comedy magic. I loved Harry Anderson, for instance.
You did magic, yeah. So that kind of hence the title of your book, The Magic of Life, and the Speedo part.
Yeah, because when I started doing the program, I was doing magic in it, and then 9/11 hit, and I couldn't do the needle through the balloon or putting other stuff on the plane because the needle was like a weapon. But I started doing stand-up in high school. I did it.
Maybe the magic, made you a better comedian when you left it off the stage.
Yeah, both ways sometimes.
Pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I mean, because
who knows?
Because the tricks helped get the laughs, and then when I started just doing stand-up, what I like about stand-up is that anyone go to the magic store and buy a trick, go home and practice it. Right. But stand-up, it's my own stuff. Whether I write it at 2:00 in the morning on my couch, whatever it is, it's mine, whether it works or not. But there's nothing better than writing a joke, doing it in front of 200 strangers and having that laughter.
Ever hear crickets and make it?
Of course. Yeah. Everyone's heard crickets.
It's like the comedian's nightmare.
Yeah, but, crickets are common.
Like, okay, well, we're just going to go with it. It's kind of like live radio. You never know what you're going to get into.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that takes a lot of courage. But I got to tell you, from therapeutic point of view, mental health, sometimes comedy, and I hear from a lot of comedians that have experienced tragedy, that such as John Farley lost his brother, Chris Farley, things, comedy's how I cope, comedy's how I cope. But sometimes it's a defense mechanism rather than a healing tool. So a lot of us get into, and I know I've got a weird sense of humor, but it started with sarcasm as a defense mechanism to not look like I was grieving or upset too. So, but it can evolve as we heal too. But there's a lot of comedians that started with, started with something hard, and comedy helps them cope, but doesn't help us heal, so to speak. It's kind of an escape, Band-Aid on a wound, so to speak, but just saying. But I mean, you're doing good at it. So it's 25 years, and part of probably why you haven't healed. And I'm going to talk to you after the show about the forgiveness part, but it's because, it's my destiny, my calling to help those,
Yeah, but
heal all the way.
But I'm still at peace, though. I'm at peace with it. I think that's the good thing. We'll talk more.
I think I could poke a nerve if I wanted to, but we're not going to go there. But I'm just saying, the healing isn't all complete. But
yeah, but you're right. It still is a defense mechanism, because we use it to deflect, whether it's in a relationship or in a meeting or something like that, to break the ice. I remember doing those group things, and I was always like not the gatekeeper. I forget what the title was, but I was always good at cracking the joke when it needed to be, and then because you're also making people heal. Like locally, the comedy club. I've been performed in 2 months, and when everyone lost their jobs, it just wasn't a monetary thing. It was identity. So
totally.
So for all my friends who are fellow speakers or comedians, we lost that identity like that. It just wasn't over. It just wasn't over time. It was one day you're a comedian or a speaker, and one day you're not. And that's been.
Can't you still do it virtually until the stage? It's not the same. You can't hold the drink and the microphone and the props and Yeah, it's
a little bit tough. But next week, the club where I live is opening back up, and I'm grateful enough to be performing. So, I might cry as I hit the stage because it's been so long. But
are you going to film it?
Get that.
Can we see it?
Wait, we'll see. Maybe
because it's up in Ohio. So I mean, I'd like to see you perform live.
Maybe we'll live stream it or something.
That would be awesome.
Think about that. Now we're all going to be rusty, though. I mean, no one's had stage time in 2 months. So
you've had more time to come up with new stuff.
We have, and I was talking to a couple of good friends yesterday, both named Greg, about how the audience is going to want to escape from what's going around today. So no one wants to see a full act of this stuff. So
a whole bunch of jokes about the virus and stuff. It's not
right, but you can't ignore.
No one wants that.
Yeah, but you can't ignore the white elephant in the room either. So it'll be talked about, but not for the. I'm not going to do my whole set about that.
You can tell some people.
It's ridiculous.
I dare everyone to cough.
Yeah, something. But the club's been amazing. They took out.
But are they going to have to wear masks? You won't even know if they're smiling at your jokes or not. Which
is okay. That's I can live with that. I just want to be on stage. Feel that comfort zone and to do that. So it's going to be interesting. But you know what? I think we people need to laugh and and it's
we all
something we can get back to. Yeah, it's kind of nice. It's gonna
probably get a good response just because everyone's so in need of it that they're gonna laugh even if you're not funny.
Right, exactly. yeah, that'll be good for the ego. Right, exactly. I'm okay with that. I can live with that.
Just kidding. Okay, so it's kind of getting closer to. So let's talk about. Okay, so I would love to see you perform. Please, if you can, even if you don't want to post it or whatever, just send me that. But I would love to share it to our listeners as well. But for those in Ohio that want to come see you, where are you performing at? Side Splitters?
No, this will be the Funny Stop in Cuyahoga Falls on State Road. So there'll be 5 shows, one on next Thursday, and then 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday. So it's